Am I the asshole for telling a student, I don't care? Hello. Throwaway account because I'm a teacher and I can't have my name attached to this post. I teach 7th grade at a Catholic school. I don't teach all their classes, but I do teach math, religion, English, and social studies to my class. I have this student I'll call Chrissy. She is a handful. She's a smart girl and usually does well on tests, but she is extremely dramatic. I have been having a lot of issues with her when it comes to late assignments. I do accept late homework, but 10% is taken off each day late until they fail the assignment. Obviously there are certain circumstances that students can turn in late assignments without penalty. Chrissy has been turning in assignments late all year, and going on some sob story about why she couldn't get it done in time. I have been giving her full credit, but every time my patience is getting thinner. It's her grandma is sick, so she was visiting in the hospital, her dog ran away and she was out all day looking. Her uncle is sick in the hospital. Her mom got stuck at work, so she had to spend all day babysitting her siblings. Her dad got mad at her, which sparked an anxiety attack, and she couldn't do the homework. You get the picture. These are all excuses she's used. There's even more. I feel bad, as I think she's getting a lot more leeway than the other students. Today, we had a pop quiz on a reading assignment from last week. This is a normal thing we do on Mondays to test who read last week. After the quiz, Chrissy came up to my desk as the rest of the kids head to another class. So the grandma of her best friend growing up passed away. She was having a very rough time, so Chrissy basically spent the entire week with her after school. And just couldn't get the reading done. She admitted to probably flunking the pop quiz and wanted to retake it later in the week. I looked at Chrissy, sighed, and just said, "Chrissy, I don't care. You do this all the time. It's not fair to the other students. You have to find a way to get your work done." The excuses are not going to work anymore. She started to tear up and plead with me. I told her if she is really having these serious issues so frequently, we can have her parents come in for a meeting to figure out what we can do. She insisted that wasn't necessary and she can't get her parents involved. I told her that's her only option. Either she get the work on time done or we sit down with her parents. She left the room while yelling that people like me are the reason her generation has so many mental health problems because we don't understand their struggle. Am I the asshole for how I handled this? I really think I did the best I could. Not the asshole I was ready to throw out you being an asshole, but what you said to her needed to be said. She doesn't want to get her parents involved because she knows she's wrong. Teacher here as well. I would have called home when she gave the first excuse for a well-being check. This way you can confirm whether or not something happened, keep the parents in the loop, and guide them in the requirements of the school and helping Chrissy manage her time in an effective manner. This will also help when it comes to report cards because you don't want parents asking why she's failed, only for them to ask why they weren't notified when she wasn't completing assessments. Info. Why hasn't the school counselor been involved before this point? It sounds like Chrissy has an incredibly difficult home life, especially if her dad is giving her anxiety attacks, and involving her parents would just escalate the situation. You are the asshole. I also teach 7th grade and you 100% crossed a line. You should have seen warning signs left, right and center weeks ago if this was a constant issue. Those parents should have been contacted and brought in weeks ago. You should have reported a possible issue to the school counselor, psychologist so she can get some support. You are the adult and control the situation. You are meant to provide support and help. One of the very first things we learn as a teacher is that the home environment can negatively affect behaviors and classroom performance. I understand, the profession is exhausting and we have loads dumped on us, but that is no excuse to dismiss a student and expect them to have all the solutions. If you are burned out, then contact those I suggested above for some support. Info. Why are you convinced these are excuses, rather than a legitimately tough personal life? Has she been proven to be a liar before? You were so understanding and fine until you said, "I don't care, soft, you are the asshole." That was less than professional. Other than that, you sound really patient and understanding. I bet you're a really great teacher, and Chrissy sounds like a handful. Don't beat yourself up too much over this. Just do better. You are the asshole. I was a lot like this kid and the truth was I was dealing with dysfunction and abuse. But calling it what it was just made everything worse. Not the asshole. If anything, you probably should have had a parent-teacher conference way earlier. If she was taking advantage of you, which it sounds like she was, then you're justified in calling her out on her crap even if you were a little harsh, blunt. She's gotta learn someday, right? Am I the asshole for not accepting jokes about being an only child after losing my sister? I know it sounds stupid, but I had a huge fight with my boyfriend, M26. He has 4 brothers and I'm kind of an only child because my sister died when she was 8 and I was 12. It was really sad for my whole family, especially my parents who separated after this. My boyfriend knows this. But he sometimes makes jokes about how I'm an only child and that I cannot share food and stuff like that. I know that these jokes are only typically jokes about this topic, but it makes me sad. He did this again yesterday while we were meeting some of our friends. They also made some jokes and that was enough for me. I told them that this makes me sad and that I don't like it and how I miss my sister and that I don't feel like an only child because I still have a sister, she's just not alive. Some of my friends were shocked and apologies, but my boyfriend and 2 other friends argued that I'm just acting like an only child, crying, being dramatic and not accepting jokes. I said that I would not accept this behavior and that I don't want to see them again if they act this way. Now I'm wondering if I was too harsh? It was a joke after all? Am I the asshole? Sorry for my bad English, I'm not from the USA and I feel very emotional while writing this. Not the asshole. You are not an only child and never will be. You have a sibling. You played with and loved her and you have felt her absence every day since she passed. Your boyfriend is the one acting spoiled and insensitive. Sibling loss, especially at a young age, is one of the most traumatic things you can endure. I'm sorry for your loss. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Some of my friends were shocked and apologies. For a damn good reason. Your boyfriend and 2 other friends are poking fun at your dead sister. That is such a beyond asshole thing to do that there are serious questions as to why you have any contact with these deplorable assholes. If I were you, I'd drop them like a fresh bowl of COVID. Not the asshole, and your soon-to-be ex-boyfriend isn't respecting your feelings. He and his friends seem fairly toxic. Not the asshole, I'm sorry for your loss. I lost my older daughter at 12 and my younger was 9, so she has been raised like an only child for 10 years. But while our situation was probably different from yours, you've given me a new perspective on how she might feel. Thank you. Not the asshole. This guy has 4 brothers but still never learned to have a shred of empathy for other people. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend is terrible. He should be your ex-boyfriend. You deserve better than this. Not the asshole. Your boyfriend and his 2 friends sure didn't learn acceptable social skills from having siblings. I am an only child and the main thing I didn't learn is how to handle a bully. Seems you're in the same boat, and sadly your boyfriend is the bully. Things like this always terrify me long term. As a woman who lost 3 pregnancies, is he gonna be supportive if that happens to you? Because him not acknowledging your sister means he will probably do the same to your lost child. This kinda behavior is a huge red flag. Am I the asshole for not wanting my wife to take part in designing the basement? I, 26M. Just got married to my wife, 25F, back in September. My wife and I have been saving and investing throughout high school and college, so we were able to close on a really nice house. The house is 2,800 square feet and comes with 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, a finished basement, a back patio with a hot tub, and a kitchenette. We bought this house as we are hoping to raise a family in this house. So we have 2 living areas, the basement living area and the main floor living room. I figured my wife would want to take priority over the main floor. So I said that she could design the main floor living room the way she would like as well as the master bedroom, but I wanted to design the basement living area the way that I want. My wife asked why she can't help with the basement, so I told her that I wanted to turn the space into a man cave, so whenever I invite friends over we would have a place to hang out. My wife was angry when I mentioned what the space would be used for and she said that she did not want the space to be turned into a man cave and that we both had to agree on how the basement living area would be designed and what it would be used for. I was a little irritated after hearing this and so I told my wife that I am letting her design the living area and master bedroom 100% the way that she wants, and that I just wanted the basement living area to be completely the way I want. I also added that since we currently have no children and are not expecting one at the moment that she could use any of the bedrooms for something extra. After I said that my wife started guilt-tripping me saying that she was offended that I was excluding her and how this is not just my house, but how it's our house. I haven't started anything yet in terms of designing the basement living area, but I really want a space in the house that's kind of my own and is designed the way that I want. I've tried explaining this to my wife but she keeps saying that I'm being selfish, so I wanted to know if I am really being an asshole here. Edit. Many people have suggested that I take one of the empty bedrooms and use that as a man cave rather than the whole basement living area. I think this is actually a good idea and I will bring this to my wife and see what she thinks. I will also ask what she was planning on using that basement living area for. Edit 2. So far it looks like almost everyone agrees that I am an asshole. I can see why I was wrong here and I was definitely excluding my wife here. I plan on apologizing to my wife as well as asking her what she would like to do. You are the asshole. It's not a question of who designs which area. It's the fact that you're saying she can design 2 areas which will be for both of you, and you will take one entire section of this house as your own. This is something that should have been discussed before you bought a home. You are the asshole. How generous of you to let her decorate shared living spaces for you and future children to enjoy while you get an entire basement for you and your buddies to party in. You cannot seriously believe that is fair? The fair thing would be to make the basement an entertainment room that you both design. You don't need a man cave, consider your wife. You are the asshole. You are going to use the main living area and the master bedroom, even if you let her design them. But you think it's fair that you get to have the whole basement as your man cave. Edit. Adding that man caves are toxic. Info. Where are you going to sleep? Since it's her bedroom and her living room and not yours. You are the asshole. You are segregating her from a large chunk of the house because you want to impress your friends? Yikes. It sounds like you really don't value her as a human, let alone a wife. You didn't let her design the rest of the house. You just didn't put any of the work in because you didn't want to, right? You are the asshole. Does she get an equal-sized space just for her where she can hang with her friends? So wait. Does she also get an entire floor of the house all to herself for her hobbies and hanging out with her friends, or is that just a you thing? It's reasonable for each of you to have a room since it seems like there's space, but an entire floor? You are the asshole. She is right. Where is her space? God, man caves are so outdated. You use so much you both put the effort in. If you want to share, you have to share and don't get to make decisions on your own. Also, since you don't have kids yet, her space would not be permanent and she would be forced to give it up. Grow up. Build a nice hanging out space together. You are allowing her to decorate the other rooms as leverage to get your way here. Am I the asshole for getting a coworker fired because she didn't get me a Christmas present? I, 19M, work in a small office. In November a few of my coworkers organized a secret Santa gift exchange for Christmas. It was optional but most people joined in, so I did too. Though I do not celebrate Christmas, I am ex-Christian, but I still celebrate the holiday season and I thought it would be fun. One of the people who organized it is a woman called Jen, 50 SF. She is a devout Christian. I know because she had a lot of religious items on her desk and she is always saying religious stuff and talking about church. Soon after we all picked names for Secret Santa, she approached me and said that she was glad that I'd joined in because it's nice to see young people getting involved in the spirit of Christmas. Then she asked if I would be going to Mass for Christmas and I said no. She asked why and I told her that I am actually ex-Christian so I don't go to church. I don't think I was rude about it, but she started acting weird and said that I shouldn't have joined Secret Santa because I was profiting off other people's generosity in the celebration of Christ's birth. I didn't know what to say, so I said that I would be getting someone a gift too, of course, and I couldn't back out now because then one person wouldn't get anything. She said she would pray for me and left, and we didn't really interact after that. A few days before Christmas we all were supposed to exchange our gifts. I gave the person I picked their gift and then I was waiting to receive mine. I didn't know who picked me, of course, but eventually it seemed like everyone had gotten their gifts except me. Then Jen came over and said she was the one who picked my name. But since I didn't believe in Christmas there was no reason for her to get me a gift in celebration of it. I was honestly shocked, but she left before I could say anything. It did bother me a bit, but I decided to let it go because I didn't want any drama. Later I was talking to another coworker, Amy, 22F. She asked me what I got, so I told her what happened with Jen. Amy said I should tell our supervisor about it because Jen has said similar things to a coworker of ours who is Muslim. I told her I didn't want to make a big deal out of the Secret Santa thing and I thought we left it at that. But after the holidays our supervisor Mark, 50 SM, called me into his office and asked about what happened with Jen during the gift exchange. I didn't want to lie to a supervisor, so I told him what she said, but also that it wasn't a big deal to me, it was just a present. He thanked me and said not to worry, but that this was connected to a greater trend in Yen's behavior, and he would have to take action. Yesterday I noticed Yen's desk was cleared out. I asked Amy about it and she said Jen had been fired. I feel bad because I didn't care about getting a present that much and I don't think it's something that warrants getting someone fired. I told my friend Sam, 19M, about it and he said I shouldn't have told Mark what Jen said because it was just a dumb disagreement between us. So IDK. Am I the asshole? Bro, she didn't get fired for not getting you a present, she got fired for the things she said and did. She did this to herself, not you. She was a major liability to the company and opened them up to serious lawsuits. Not the asshole. Edit, thank you guys for the awards. Never got some of these before. Not the asshole. A greater trend in Yen's behavior. This is what got her fired, not you being honest when asked a question by your supervisor. Not the asshole. You didn't get your coworker fired. Your coworker got herself fired for trying to stick her personal beliefs where they don't belong and showing blatant prejudice towards other people in the office. Telling Mark the truth about what happened landed your work environment and coworkers in a less toxic place. Edit. Your friend Sam should take note. His way of handling things irks me and is probably how someone like Jan was able to get to the point of openly and comfortably acting like an asshole at work to begin with. Not the asshole. This is about so much more than the present. He thanked me and said not to worry but that this was connected to a greater trend in Yen's behavior, and he would have to take action. Her being fired isn't your fault. It's Jen's fault for discriminating against her coworkers. The present is just one part of a larger problem with Jen's behavior. I'm sure that there are other incidents with other people in your company beyond yourself and the Muslim coworker. Her behavior is unacceptable in a professional environment. Not the asshole. When people start waffling about the religious nature of Christmas, explain that yes, it's a pagan holiday and Constantine slapped some Jesus on it back in the day. Not the asshole. What's to feel bad about? You didn't press the issue and were ready to let it go. You were asked by your supervisor and you told the truth. Jen got herself fired, clearly. Your supervisor even told you it wasn't the first time she pulled something like this in the name of her faith. You didn't do anything wrong. Take it from an old man, behavior like this often escalates in the workplace once the offender has been shown they can get away with it. You had no obligation to protect someone like her. Your friend is flat out wrong. Not the asshole. Secret Santa isn't a test regarding anyone's Christian or non-Christian beliefs. It's a way to have fun during the holiday season with coworkers. Your coworker didn't operate in the spirit of holiday fun. That, combined with other behaviors, got her fired, not you. Not the asshole. This isn't even about not receiving a gift. It's about Jen's intolerance for non-Christians. Even if this was a non-sanctioned work event, it's obvious that Jen treats non-Christians differently and your place of employment did the right thing by letting her go. You were very professional.